Hi everyone, welcome back. This is the second hour of our 2-hour special on interviewing skills. All right. For all those who were in the previous class, we covered some best practices, some do's and don'ts, what it is that you need to keep in mind when you're at an interview, and what it is that you should stay away from. So we had David in the last class, and he says in 8 hours he needs to go to a friend's house and paint his flat. Okay, bye David. It was really nice to see you today. Have a great weekend. All right. The first 2 minutes of all classes are reserved for people either with reservations or with premium accounts. All right. So Andre has a premium account. I know that. And Calvin, do you have a premium account or do you have reservations?
I have a reservation.
Yeah, you're like so for all the people who would like to make some reservations, and if you don't have any, you guys can do so at this website here. So www.verbling.com/get-reservations. There are a couple of really cool things you can do. You can invite friends. You can watch a video if you log in through Facebook, or if you want to upgrade to premium. When you upgrade to premium, your first week is absolutely free. So there we go. It's a little incentive for you guys to think about upgrading to a premium account. All right?
Do you get a commission for that or what?
I don't get anything for students who have premium accounts. I'm just a teacher, man. I ain't a salesperson. Just letting you guys know. I'm just a teacher. I'm not like selling the premium account to you guys. Just letting you know, passing on the information.
Great. Very much appreciated.
You are welcome. So we have in our class, we have Karar. Karar was in the earlier class, as was Calvin and Andre. So right now we have Dinso. Dinso? Hi. Can you hear me? Hi, that's okay.
Just unmuted the microphone.
Yes.
I guess it's the second part of a two-part class, right?
Yeah. Well, we didn't cover much. Well, we did cover a lot in the last class. We talked about best practices, do's and don'ts of what you should do when you go for an interview. All right. And in this class, we are going to be actually practicing. You missed it. You missed the lecture on what to do for an interview.
I missed the crucial part.
You missed the crucial part. Now you're going to be like, how am I supposed to answer this? Well, there's always recorded classes. So for all those who missed it, there's always a recorded class if you guys would like to watch it.
Later.
Perfect. And in this hour, I'm actually going to be interviewing you guys. You're going to be having mini interviews with me. So I'll be asking each one of you a typical interview question. So a question that you are most likely to hear when you go interview in English. It might be different in different languages in different parts of the world, but we are going to be interviewing in English today. All right. So as people are coming in and out, I can see that there are quite a few students from the last class who have joined us. We have Hamdi. Nice to have you back, Hamdi, as well as Karar. Hi, Karar. Nice to have you back as well. Okay, so let's see. So for all those who are new, who are just joining us, I'll say it again. We are going to be interviewing in this hour. So I'll be asking you guys questions, and you will have to give me answers in English to common interview questions. Let's introduce let's get the new students to introduce themselves. So let's say your name, say where you're from, and say what is one thing that you find intimidating when you go for an interview. In the last class, we had a couple of students, they said that silence was very intimidating when your interviewer just looks at you blankly and doesn't give any non-verbal cues. That was intimidating. Nerves, when you get really nervous, you get intimidated, all right? So what are some things that scare you guys about being interviewed? Let's start with Rahim. Hi, Rahim.
Hi.
Okay. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Sorry, I don't understand.
Do you want to introduce yourself? Introduce yourself.
Okay. My name is Rahim, and I am from Turkey. I am an engineer.
Okay. All right. And have you ever been interviewed, Rahim?
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the scariest part about being interviewed?
I always scared about the first part because my heart was very. What can I say?
Heart was racing. Heart was
Yeah,
racing.
yeah. My
Okay.
heart is rising. Yeah.
Heart was racing. What does that mean when your heart is racing? My heart was racing. All right. What does that mean? That's an expression.
Mm, my heart work very hard.
Okay. Yeah. So it was like I was really nervous. My heart was
Yeah,
beating
yeah,
very
nervous.
fast. So I was like, oh my God, what should I do? All right. So
Yeah.
Raheem said that his heart was racing during the first part of the interview. All right. That can be very nerve wracking. All right. Thank you, Raheem. Next we'll get Judith. Hi, Judith.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
That's
I'm
awesome.
from
Mhm.
I'm from Hungary,
Oh,
and
And yeah, this is not your first time on Verbling, is it?
on Verbling, not but with you. I guess this is my first
This,
lesson.
yeah, welcome. Really nice to have you join us. So
Thank
because
you.
you're
Congrats.
and because we're talking about interviews and interviewing skills, why don't you tell us what's one thing that intimidates you about being interviewed?
Well, it was a long time ago that I was in an interview,
Mm-hmm.
so I don't really remember.
You're
Well,
like, oh my God.
intimidating.
I have blocked that memory from my mind. I do not want to remember what it was like being interviewed.
Yeah.
Well, Judith, if you remember and if you want to share, that would be awesome. All right. And
Okay.
it's really nice to have you join us. Welcome to my class.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Next we have Hikmat.
Yes.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you
Hello.
today? Yeah.
I'm fine, thank you. Hikmet from Spain.
Okay. And is this your first time on Verbling?
No, but this is my first time in your class.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much for joining. It's really nice to have new students join my class. So what is the most intimidating thing about being interviewed for you?
Well, for me, as an internship, I think the most intimidating question is asking me, how can you be useful for us?
Oh yeah. Okay, that's a very good question. And I'm actually going to ask you guys that in class today. Okay, thank you so much, Hikmet. That's actually a that's a scary question, I feel. Next we have Dinso.
Yes. Actually, I think the most intimidating part is when you encounter with surprises from the part of interviewee.
From the
Because
intro.
sometimes they really,
Mhm.
you can't be sure if employer is really decided about what to look for
Oh, in the
yeah,
interviewee. Okay.
interviewee.
That's a good point. So you don't really know what the right answer would be because the interviewer doesn't know what the right answer is either.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much, then. So that's a very valid point. Next, let's move on to Kathy. Hi, Kathy.
Yeah, hi, Hina. Can you hear me?
Hi. Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is Kathy, and this is the first time I participate in a class.
Oh, perfect. Welcome to
Yeah,
Verbling. Really nice to have you join us.
thank you, Hina. But I always watch you as a listener. I didn't have a chance to join you.
Yes. Finally, you joined us.
are you gonna dance or what? Dance. Yeah, yeah.
I'll do my John Travolta for you. My Saturday Night Fever. That's
That's
awesome.
cool.
Perfect.
Victory dancing.
Perfect, Kathy. I'm so happy you were able to get a chance and to come and join us in class. So were you watching the last class? This is actually part 2 of the class that we're doing on interviewing and interviewing skills. So what is the most intimidating thing for you when you are being interviewed?
Actually, when the interviewer asks what's your weakness points,
Yes, it's like It's like, oh, I am so awesome that like it's a shame how awesome I am.
Really, I don't know what to reply.
I am
I don't know what to answer.
I am better than everybody else is would have to be my weakness. All right, thank you so much, Kathy. So in the last class we covered some nifty tricks, not really tricks, but tips on what to do when you are being interviewed. So stuff like maintaining eye contact, don't fidget, have a good handshake. These are just some important points that we covered. So and now in this class, I'm going to ask you guys interview questions, and you will have to answer with all the vast amount of knowledge that I have bestowed upon you, younglings. Right? Okay. So I actually, in the class description, I actually wrote that you should come prepared to class, to answer these questions. And after you are done with your answer, we will discuss as a class what the best practice is. So if you are confronted with a question that you find difficult, what is the best way to approach it? What is the best way to answer it? Okay? So are you guys ready? Are you guys ready to be interviewed?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys better be. I don't care if you are or not. All right. So I am going to start with Andre. All right, Andre, welcome. Hi.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Are you here for the interview for the position with the software developer?
Yes, definitely.
That's awesome. So why don't you come right this way with me? We'll go into the meeting room. Okay.
Yes.
So did you find our office okay? Was it hard to get here?
Yes, it's so near from my house.
Okay. All right. And do you drive or did you take public transit?
No, I went to here. I came here by my car.
By your car. Okay. Yeah. Parking can be a little hard to find in this time of the day in this part of the city. I hope that was okay for you.
Yes, I find a vacancy in front of the building.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So tell us, what do you know about our company here at Burbling?
I know that Verbling stay in San Francisco, in California.
Mm-hmm.
The company is growing up very fast, and there are a lot of new students in the virtual class. And we have the best teacher of the world.
Oh, that is so nice of you to say. And that's actually true. We are growing very fast, and we do need to hire a few software developers to, kind of help us with developing better student experience and better user interface.
Yes.
So tell me a little bit about what experience you have in that area.
I graduated in the computing sciences in my college. After I concluded my first post-graduation in IT management, nowadays I will finish my second MBA in management, business management, and I know a lot of languages to develop softwares like Java, Visual Basic, C++, and I've been studying English for 6 years, and mainly technical English because I need to use it for develop my source codes.
Okay, perfect. And actually, it's really interesting that you mentioned all the languages that you know, because I was wondering, how would you be able to pick up a new language, for example, Haskell, which is what we code in here at Burbling. So how quick would you be to pick up a new coding language?
I think 1 month, I think.
In 1 month? Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
No, because I use it to develop, and my mind is prepared to learn very, very fast.
Okay. Have you ever been faced at a situation at work where you didn't know how to deal with a task given to you, and what did you do?
I didn't hear.
So did you ever face a problem at work where you didn't know how to approach the problem? And how did you go about approaching it? So how did you go about fixing the problem?
Okay. First of all, I told the situation for my boss because I think that we need to be honest with ourselves and with the boss.
Mm-hmm.
And my boss helped me with
Mm-hmm.
to solve the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And after I did a course because to learn this to lead this kind of situation in my job.
Okay, so you are technically trained to deal with certain technical issues that can arise at work.
Yes.
Okay, perfect. All right, then I'm gonna end my interview with Andre. Thank you so much. Let's have a round of applause for Andre, everyone. He had his first online interview. Awesome. Thank you so much, Andre. What did you
Are you
guys?
hired?
You are all hired. All right, you guys can all be my little assistants. So what did you guys think? How do you guys think Andre did?
He's well done.
Is well done. Okay, Andre, I'm just gonna point out a couple of things that you said. When you said that Verbling is growing very fast, you said that Verbling is growing up very fast. Well, what does that mean to grow up?
I confused the verb. It's growing.
Yeah, exactly. So growing up is when children become
Yes.
adults, all right? So for example, when you look at your nephew or your niece, like, oh, you're so grown up. You are growing up so fast. That means to age, all right?
No, because the verbally it's a new company. It's like a child.
Oh, okay, all right,
Yeah.
Andre. I'm using a metaphor. No. The Verbling
No, I
is not like
know.
a baby.
I tried
So-
to
You try to like rectify your error. No. All right.
Yes.
So when a company is growing, you say that the company is growing very fast. You don't say it's growing up. That means to age. Okay.
Okay.
And you graduated from college. All right.
Okay.
You said I graduated in college. All right. When you finish college or when you finish university, then you move on from university to a job. So you graduate from university. Okay. Right? So that's just a couple of things. So I graduated from college and the company is growing very fast. Okay?
Okay.
Well done. And usually when you are being interviewed, you guys will notice that the interviewer is writing a lot of stuff down. So they
Yes.
don't make eye contact with you. It's not like, really, you graduated? Tell me more about that. They're going to be writing stuff down. They're not going to be looking at you. They're going to be nodding. So don't be like, you're not looking at me. I'm not going to say anything. Okay? So you
Yes.
have to be comfortable and you have to be careful with what you're saying because the interviewer is writing it down. So if you say something that's, maybe not the smartest thing, it's going to be on paper. All right? So just be careful. Okay? So well done, Andre. So what did
Thanks.
So Andre and I, we had a little bit of a small talk going at the beginning of the interview. So I asked Andre about how he got to the office, where he parked his car. And that's what we discussed in the earlier class, that interviews are never really like, hi, my name is Hina, sit down and start answering questions. It's never like that. So you always have a little warm up. You always have a little icebreaker before you get into the questions. Okay? So let's see. Let's move on. Thank you so much, Andre. That was a lot of fun. Let's move on to Calvin. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay, Calvin. I'm not going to do the whole whole thing with you.
Okay.
But I'll ask you a question. So pretend like we are already in an interview. So I've already done the formalities. Okay, what are formalities?
It's like a paperwork. No, it's like a procedure. It's a standard procedure.
Exactly. So we are done with the formalities. So I'm done, oh, where did you park your car? What's the weather like? We're done with the formalities and now we're in the interview. Okay?
Great.
So, all right. So Calvin, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself?
Oh, that is classic. So, my name is Kelvin. Oh God.
Nervous. This is what happens.
Nervous.
This is what happened. You forget what you want to say.
Poker face.
Poker face, Calvin. What was the poker face? Composure.
Straight. Keep it straight.
Keep it straight. Composure. Don't be like, oh my God, I don't know what to say anymore. Composure. If you forget what you want to say, be silent. Do not use fillers. Don't say I think. Don't do that. If you have forgotten what you want to say, be silent. It is better to be silent than to make this sound. It's better to be silent. Okay. So if you have, so you have to keep your composure and
I hold my composure.
Hold your composure. Perfect. So Calvin, why don't you tell me a little bit about
I graduated from the Chinese best high school, and I graduated from De Montfort University. I get a bachelor degree on finance. Then I finished my master degree in St. Andrews, which is the prestigious, which is a very good university in the UK. Do you know William and Kate? They graduated from there.
Ooh, wow, that is very impressive. Okay, so what would you say was your best subject at what did you say was the name of the university?
I'm doing finance.
You're doing finance. Okay, so what would you say was your favorite subject?
Oh, my favorite subject would be finance.
Okay, and why is that?
Oh, because I'm studying it, and it fascinates me a lot because I can make. Sorry, I gotta say I can make money out of it.
Okay.
But
no, don't say that. No, that's wrong answer. If you like finance, do not say you like finance because you can make money. Okay, go ahead. So why is finance your favorite subject?
Finance is my favorite subject because I can manage my assets that help others to manage their assets too. Then I can make a great profits for the company. I can evaluate the company's capital structure. I can work out the customer's portfolio. I can writing plans for different classes of the different social class of people. I can do a great job in your company.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, Calvin. That was actually a really good answer. The second part was actually very well said. All right.
That was rubbish.
That was rubbish? It was. This isn't even a real interview. This isn't even like you're not even interviewing for a job and you still got nervous. So can you imagine how scary it can be when you go for an actual interview and people are like, there's 3 people asking you these questions. Like, tell me about yourself. Wait, why do you like this? Why do you study this? All right. So it can be very, very intimidating. All right. And never ever don't ever lose it in your face. All right. It's better to be silent than to be like, oh, I'm confused, I don't know what to say. Okay. So,
somebody is saying that I look overconfident.
Well, maybe you are. You did say to me that you would be the best thing for our company. So you did finish off with I would be the best thing for your company. All right. The point of an interview is to get the interviewer to kind of understand it on their own. All right. So you shouldn't have to say I'm the best thing for your company. Your answers should automatically mean that. All right. Yeah. So what your answer about finance was, about being able to help clients, that was a very good answer. All right. Calvin's first thought was, oh, I study finance so I can make lots of money. Dollar bill, ya, cha-ching. All right. That might be true, but Calvin is not supposed to share that with the interviewer. That is something personal, and that is not professional. All right. Again, so we spoke about how important professionalism is. So the actual answer is what Calvin gave later on, that I am able to help clients assess the needs of their portfolios. All right. So that was a good answer. Okay. Calvin's never been at an interview, so we have to give him props. So very well done, Calvin. Let's give him a round of applause.
Thank you. I love you. I like your rain.
So Calvin, you actually have done your master's?
Sorry, what?
You actually have done your master's?
I am actually doing it.
You're actually doing your master's right now? Okay,
yeah.
Perfect.
I'm not lying. I wasn't lying at all. That is my real.
No, I wasn't saying you were lying. I was actually just curious to know what your master's.
Oh, but I said I have done that, but I'm actually doing it. So.
Yeah. So in the future, when you want to apply for a job. Okay. Perfect. So this question, tell me a little bit about yourself. I mean, this, as easy as it sounds, it's actually a pretty complex question. How do you guys think you should approach this Like what are the things that you should include, and how long should your answer be? So go ahead. What do you guys think?
2 minutes, I think.
2 minutes, okay? And what should you include in that?
Okay.
Okay,
Your
so,
name.
yeah. So one by one, what did you say, Hikmat?
Okay. Well, that question is tell me about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Is very broad. I can tell you what I was doing yesterday after I woke up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we should focus on giving what is useful for this. What I think is useful for this company, or what are they expecting from me.
Yeah, exactly. It's okay to mention a little bit about yourself. Like, oh, okay, this is who I am. A little bit about your work experience, a little bit about your education. And if you want to include just a tiny bit of information about yourself, that's okay. For example, in my free time, I like to go snowboarding. Okay, that's okay. Don't start it off like, oh, I was born in Connecticut and I went to high school here, and in the 6th grade I met my girlfriend, and we got married when I was 20. No, this is not what the question is about. All right, this question, tell me about yourself, this is actually an opportunity for you to show your communication skills to the interviewer. All right, so they want
to market your qualification.
exactly, to market. And I mean, you can say all you want, I am an excellent communicator, I am able to communicate perfectly, but this question is a demonstration of your communication skills. So when somebody is asking, tell me about yourself, and you in your head are a great communicator, and this is how you start, I'm 24 years old. This is bad communication. So you have already kind of misled the person into thinking that you are a good communicator. All right. So when you are asked this question, tell me about yourself, this is an opportunity to showcase your communication skills by speaking clearly, concisely, and in an organized manner. Okay, there's no right or wrong for this answer, but it is important to get across as being a good communicator. So some answers can be, I attended Waterloo where I majored in microbiology. My hobbies include playing Sudoku and going swimming. That's okay. That's an okay answer. If you want to give a longer answer, it can be, I went to the University of Waterloo and I majored in microbiology. I went to graduate school because I really wanted to know more about viruses. I really wanted to focus my studies in one area. Afterwards, I started my career as a biologist with Health Canada, and I've been there for 3 years now. And now I'm looking to move forward with my career. I enjoy going to the gym, reading, and watching movies. Okay, that's it. This is as long as this answer is going to be. The person is not asking you about what your parents' names are, what your spouse's name is, how many children you have, how many pets you have, none of that. So a little bit about your work experience, a little bit about your education, and just one sentence about your personal life. Okay?
And you can share your good adjectives, such humble, helpful, smart.
You can say that, but don't say it directly like, oh, so tell me about yourself. Don't start going like, I'm humble and I'm educated and I'm intelligent. No, that is a separate question. The interviewer might ask you, oh, use 5 adjectives to describe yourself, okay? But if the interviewer is asking you, tell me about yourself, then you're not supposed to make a list of adjectives. Then you're supposed to give an answer, and the interviewer is supposed to interpret from your answer what your qualities are. Okay?
Yes.
Okay. So, all right.
I think you should always give examples, like try to tell them the real life examples to show that you have those kind of good qualities, rather than you just directly tell them you are smart or you're humble, stuff like that.
That's a very good point. Exactly. And the questions that you are asked in an interview, the questions are basically asking for examples. For example, when you are asked, what's your strength? You don't just say, my strength is management. That's it. Like, what does that mean? How is it your strength? Give me an example. Show me what you did in the past that can demonstrate to me that this is a strength of yours. Okay? So the interviewer is supposed to form these opinions about you themselves. You shouldn't have to be like, oh, don't you think I'm really nice? They should think it on their own. All right? All right. Perfect.
Excuse me, Mr.
Yeah, go ahead, Hamdi.
No. If you asked about if you asked about your technical question, you don't have to say I think, I believe, to speak about possibilities of the answers. You have to be sure about the answer and don't make it possibility. I think it's
Exactly.
Alright.
the answer is will be kaza, will be, and it's possibility to be like such as one. You have
Perfect.
to be
Yeah.
sure and certainly.
Perfect. That's a really good point, Hamdi. So nowadays we have a variety of different interviews. There are technical interviews. I've actually never been in a technical interview, but in a technical interview, they ask you to, solve a problem on the spot. All right. In that case, don't be like, I think this is what you would do. No. I mean, if you know how to solve the problem, solve it, answer it. All right. So, technical interview, I'm not going to comment too much about it because I personally have never been in one. But for those of you who have been in technical interviews, I would love to hear your opinions. Okay, that's a very good point. Thank you, Hamdi. Okay,
Okay.
so let's move on to Kathy. Kathy, are you nervous?
No, no, I'm
No?
fine.
Okay, so I'm not going to make a scenario up every time. So you can just pretend like we're already in an interview, and you can use I mean, whatever your qualifications are, everybody's individual qualifications, you can answer the question based on them. Okay? So, Kathy, I'm going to ask you a question, and you can take your time to answer. Don't feel jaded, like, oh my god, I have to answer right now. Okay? So,
Okay.
Kathy, what are your short-term goals? Short-term goals.
Okay. To improve my career, to add some new skills to myself,
Mm-hmm.
and to give some benefits to my company from my previous experiences in my previous companies. That's it.
Okay, perfect. And what about your long-term goals?
I would like to have my own company.
Okay. What would you like to start a company for?
Structural engineering, the facade engineering especially. I'm very interested in the facade engineering.
Mm-hmm.
It's very, it's very growing field, and it's very prestigious field as well.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, I studied in the civil engineering, and to be honest, I found it like a little bit tough for a girl. But when I moved into the facade engineering, it
Mm-hmm.
was really very interesting to me because it's a combination between the engineering and at the same time the beauty. The beauty of the buildings, the beauty of the interior, and
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you, Kathy. I really liked your second answer. Well, why do you guys think Kathy's the second part of the second answer, which she gave her long-term goals? Why do you think that was a good answer? So she spoke about what she wants to start her company for and why she wants to start it. Like what passion does she have? And she speaks a lot about personal experience. So she doesn't just say, I want to start a company to make lots of money. All right. She talks about what her interests are, what she has done in the past, and how her past experiences can help her start her company. Okay? So
Yes.
that was a very good answer, Kathy. As for your first answer, what are your short-term goals? It was a good answer, but it was very
But
vague.
may I ask something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Uh, my friend told about her future plans of starting in an enterprise, a company.
Mm-hmm.
But if you apply for a total settled job inside
Mm-hmm.
another company, and if
Mm-hmm.
you tell them about your
Your plans of starting
installing
your
new
own.
plant, yeah,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
does it work all the time?
I mean, it,
Are,
it
are we
depends.
sure about it?
I wish. Okay, it depends. When would it not be a good idea? If you are applying for a job and then you talk about starting your own company, when would that
Like
be a
an
bad idea?
like that, sorry. And if they ask you, can you focus enough in this job position, then
Mm-hmm.
they will think and how good focused,
Mm-hmm.
how well focused could be that person for that job position.
Okay.
But if you tell them that you have plans of constituting how do you say,
Yeah.
starting
Moving
your
on.
own.
Yeah, moving on. Yeah, okay.
Everybody thinks about that, but
Well,
saying it, pronouncing it, and out loud,
Yeah.
I don't think in every occasion is a good idea.
Yeah, and that you're right. It wouldn't be a good idea if you are planning on starting a company that will be competition for the company you are working for. Do you know what I mean by that? So if you are working in a company that does, say, like that makes games for computers, right? And then you say, oh, I want to start my own company that's going to make games for computers. Then that might be a bad idea because that will be competition. What is competition? What does competition mean?
To be
Uh,
rivals.
Okay.
competition be among people in a job.
Yeah, well, yeah. So the company that you start might be competition for the company that you're working for, right? So in that case, it would be a bad idea. It's like I am working here, so I can learn everything I need to learn to start a company just like you, right? So a company in the same field. So Elaine in the chat is saying company in the same field. Then it would be a bad idea. That I agree. Calvin, I'm just gonna mute you because I can hear myself. Okay, then that would be a bad idea because it's like, oh, I'm going to learn everything here and then quit this job and then start my own company with everything that I learned from you. Okay, and make a company that does exactly the same thing. Okay, that's a bad idea because now you are making competition. Okay, but if you're working for, say, like an environmental company and you have plans of starting your own software engineering company, but it's a software development company, then it wouldn't be because you're not going to be that company's competition, right? They're not going to be like, oh, in the future they're going to be better than us, okay? Because you're not that person's competition. All right, so you're right, it does depend. It wouldn't always be like, oh, that's a great idea, you want to start your company. It would depend on what you're saying. Okay.
But it will also be a distraction for employee to think about other things, other businesses or something.
Yeah, that's why you don't talk about it in your short-term goals. Yeah. That's why you don't talk about it in your short-term goals, in your long-term goals. Okay, if that is actually your long-term goal, all right, then you should be honest. I mean, you don't want the person that, like, when you're interviewing them, you shouldn't be like, I plan on working for this company in this position forever and ever. All right. I mean, sure, you want them to think that, but
No, it's not logical because statistically we just spent 5 years almost.
Exactly. So that's the same thing. So I mean, if you are trying to mislead the interviewer into thinking, oh, in my long-term goals, 20 years from now, I am still going to be here. Logically, the interviewer knows that that's bullshit. Right? Like, that's not really true.
Totally.
So exactly, it's just like, buddy, we know when you're going to leave. All right. Kathy, I just want to mention that your answer for your short-term goals, it was a little vague. Do you know what vague means?
No, I don't.
Vague? Okay. Vague means it
Not
was
clear.
Not specific.
Not specific, because you said, oh, in my short-term goals, I want to add some new skills. Okay, new skills. That is very vague. Like, what kind of new skills do you want to add? All right. So if you could be,
Ambiguous.
that's very ambiguous. Yeah, ambiguous. Okay, ambiguous is when something is not clear. All right.
General,
So
yeah,
it's very general. It's like, I want skills. Okay, like, what kind of skills do you want? All right. So if you could make that answer a little more specific, what would you say?
Okay. See, I love languages so much, and every time I like to improve myself. Like when I have the chance to learn a language, even if I'm not gonna use it in my work or in my life, it's really fun for me to learn it. So one time I'll need it. I'm sure that one time I'll need it. Either in my work, I'll have like Italian client, I'll have German consultant or whatever. So this is the new skills I'm interested in.
Yeah, that's a much better answer. So what's the skill? You want to improve your language skills. And why do you want to improve it? Because it will benefit you in the future. So that's a much better answer. Just saying, I want skills, that's a very vague answer. All right. The interviewer will be like, well, everybody wants skills. Which ones do you want? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Kathy. All right.
Thank you.
Dinsel, you ready? I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna ask you a real fun question. Okay. Are you an organized person? And demonstrate to me how you are organized.
Well, I'm not an organized person.
Okay, so you wouldn't say that. Most
Should be
people. Okay.
Very well distracted at any occasion. No, I am organized because I do believe I use all the manners, technological manners of that helps me to organize in the info about my contacts, my calendar, etc.
Mhm.
And
What tools do you use
besides
to stay organized? What tools do you use to stay organized? Tools.
online calendars, for example,
Mm-hmm.
my mobile through
Which
my
one?
mobile
Be more.
connections, I use Note.
Yeah.
More specifically,
Mm-hmm.
Google Apps,
Okay.
for example, and I note almost all details of my friends when possible for not forgetting about them,
Mm-hmm.
and I never erase any phone number from my contact list, for example. You
Okay.
don't know whenever you need them.
Okay.
And besides, I am good at prioritizing tasks.
Okay.
So I mark them according to their importance with different colors.
Ooh, so you're color coordinated. Color
Yep.
coordinated. Okay.
Red ones,
Mm-hmm.
for example, the top priority,
Mm-hmm.
and the green ones the least, and the yellow is the middle,
Okay. All
like
right.
that.
Perfect.
So
Go ahead.
one by one, I try to finish those tasks. Also, I adopted recently some easy to apply but very efficient methods like Pomodoro. If you
Mm-hmm.
know about it, it's
Yep.
good at language learning or for mostly for tech guys, for
Mm-hmm.
programmers, for example, for finishing small parts of jobs. I
Mm-hmm.
don't have much problem in being an organized
Okay.
employee.
Perfect. That's awesome. I want to say that the second part of your answer was really, really good when you start talking about prioritizing tasks, like the red and the green and the yellow. The only thing is the first part of your answer was too personal. Like you were like, oh, I always keep my friends' phone numbers and I don't ever delete them. Okay. If you can give an example that is more work related, that would be perfect. Like, for example,
It is work related
no, so you can
because
say
when
coworkers.
they call me again 10 years later, they are surprised. How do you still know my name? And some guys when they
So,
call,
so then say
I say
coworkers.
that's
All right?
my
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Just switch the word friends with the word coworkers or colleagues. Okay? So you can switch a situation around so easily just by using a different word. So instead of saying I never delete my friends' emails, just say I keep my coworkers' emails organized. All right?
Okay,
Coworkers or colleagues. All right?
just in case, huh?
Just in case, yeah. So it's best to always give work related or educational related examples. If you don't have any of those, then you can move on to personal examples. All right. But in this situation, I would imagine that you do have examples to relate to work, and it's best to stick with those. All right. But very good answer. I like how you went into
May I,
detail. Yeah, go ahead.
as final, may I ask you something? In job
Personal.
interviews, not personal, of course,
Yeah.
related to class, but
Mhm.
and when you when you have an interviewee, for
Mhm.
example,
Mhm.
you are doing something else.
Mhm.
How do you expect him or her to react to this?
When
So you should
I am,
also, an
yeah.
employer
Mhm.
must give all attention. So expect the employee, from the
It
employer part.
it should be
And if
expected, but
if they are just typing something, okay, go ahead. You
yeah.
tell something and I listen
Mhm.
because it's an experience and a bad experience of mine.
I definitely agree. I think it's very distracting.
It get on all my nerves.
Yeah.
And
Does everybody know what distracting means? it's definitely distracting. So that's a very good point that Dinsel brought up, that when you are in an interview and you're talking, and the interviewer, like what I'm doing, they're writing down what you're saying and not really
You are
giving
doing
you
as an obligation, eh?
yeah, exactly.
Because you are answering in some other part also in written text.
Exactly. But most interviewers do that. Has anybody ever been in an interview where the interviewer was not writing, or they were just looking at you and that's it? They did not write anything down that you said. Has anybody ever been in an interview like that?
Well, I think the
Yeah,
only
it
interview
happens
that I
sometimes.
had, something like
So,
that happened.
sorry, Hikmat?
The only interview that I ever had, something like that happened. He didn't write anything. He just checked my CV and some questions, and
And
went
it
to
was verbal. It was verbal. It wasn't like he wasn't writing everything down.
yes,
And did you feel like that you had his full attention?
yes, of course. I'm sure that I had his attention.
Okay. And you know, all the interviews that I've been in, I have to say that they were all writing stuff down. I've never been in one where they had a laptop open and they were typing what I was saying. I think that's super rude. That's very, very rude. Go ahead, Dinsel. You've been in that where they were typing?
It was not the exact situation, you know. The guy wasn't writing what I said.
Mm-hmm.
He was simply distracted with something else and acting like. And they
He
were
was
two
paying
of
all
them.
the attention to you.
No, there were some HR girl
Mm-hmm.
who is actually interviewing with me, and the boss to be guy
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
in the other on the other side of the desk and listening us,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes saying something and other times all typing or something. But actually, the real guy who hires you
Mm-hmm.
is the direct responsible from that job position.
Okay.
The boss or director or
Yeah.
manager, what you
Hiring
call
manager.
them.
Hiring manager.
Yeah,
Hiring
and you
manager.
expect all their attentions. Really,
Yeah.
if they don't have time, they shouldn't have invited you.
Mm-hmm.
That was the situation for my
That
part.
I completely agree. And these bad experiences, these are experiences that make you want to not apply for jobs. But I can assure you that they're very far and spread out. I don't think that most interviews go like that. Most interviews do follow the format where you go meet the person, they write down what you say, and that the hiring manager is actually interested in what you have to say. Elaine is saying, "Oh, it feels like that they don't give a shit. Like you don't matter." I know that feeling, but it's unfortunate that you had to face that. But hopefully you won't have to again. And this is just the word. That's the way the hierarchy is. Do you guys know what hierarchy is? Hierarchy. Okay. Hierarchy is the structure of society. All right. This is the structure of yeah. This is what the structure of society is. Like if you want a job, you have to apply for a job, and then you have to go meet the hiring manager, and it's out of your hand what the hiring manager is going to do, what they're going to be like, because you need this job and this is the only person who's going to hire you. So you have to put up with it to put up with it. Who knows what it means to put up with it?
You have to stand that.
But yeah, to put up. Sorry, to put up with it. It means like I don't have a choice. I have to put up with this behavior because otherwise I'm not going to get this job. So that's just the way hierarchy is. Like that's the way social structures are. All right. Thanks
Adapt.
for,
I
yeah.
think adapt.
Adapt. Yeah. So you have to adapt to that. So I mean, as unfortunate as it is, it actually that's the way it works in this world. All right. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us, Dinsel. All right. Who is next? I can't. My screen is stuck and I cannot see. Hamdi.
Me.
Hamdi. Yes.
Um,
Hamdi. Alrighty. Hamdi. How do you work well under pressure?
Yes, of course.
Okay. You have to elaborate. Yeah.
I can tell you something. I work now at the restaurant. I work as a cashier,
Mhm.
and it's a fast food restaurant.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's crowded with the clients and customers,
Mhm.
and I adapt to be work at the pressure and to be patient with the reactions of the clients if the order was um delayed or late for them. sometimes they react rude something. So I have to be patient with them. I have to be patient with my coworkers and my colleagues. Uh, stuff like that.
Perfect. All right. Thank you, Hamdi. So I'm just going to say that when you have such closed questions, what are closed-ended questions? Closed-ended questions.
Like a yes or no.
Exactly. These are called closed-ended questions. So Hamdi, do you work well under pressure? Yes, I do. Okay? So even if you have a closed-ended question, you're supposed to elaborate the answer. What does it mean to elaborate?
To demonstrate.
To explain, exactly. So when an interviewer asks you a closed-ended questions like, "Are you organized?" You're supposed to say, "Yes, I am organized," and then you're supposed to elaborate. You're supposed to explain it a little. All right. So
I think
Don't
it's
run away from
elaborate
it.
on something.
Sorry,
Maybe
Calvin.
elaborate on something.
Elaborate on, yeah. So elaborate on your point. Elaborate on your point. Okay. So this would be used, for example, I believe students should wear uniforms in school. Okay? That's your answer. It's like, can you please elaborate on that a little bit more? So can you explain that a little bit more? Okay? So when you are asked closed-ended questions, you're expected to give a little bit of explanation and a little bit of detail. Right? When you are asked open-ended questions, what would be open-ended questions? Open-ended questions. Give me an example of an open-ended question.
Uh, Why do you think you are the best candidate for this job position?
Exactly. You can answer that with a yes. You can say yes, I am. Right? Like, the people will judge you if you
Why?
say yes. Yeah. Why? Why is a very good open-ended question. Okay? So, but when you ask closed-ended question, do you have the skill? Don't just say yes, I have the skill and be silent. All right? Be a little more proactive and try to demonstrate how you have that skill. Okay? So well done, Hamdi. Thank you so much. Any questions, Andre?
Thanks.
No.
No? Okay. Perfect. Next, let's go on to Hikmat.
Yes. Hello.
Hikmat? Okay. So, what does success mean to you, Hikmat?
Success is to achieve your goal. This is the main meaning of success.
Okay. And how far are you willing to go to achieve your goals?
Well, of course, it depends on motivation of achieving the goal. But if I am enough motivated, we can say achieving them possible. You can go to that point. You achieve something that people in my level and my qualifications will never achieve the same. That is real success.
Okay. And what motivates you?
Well, the direct answer would
Money. Money is the only thing that motivates me. Never say that.
I almost said that.
Never ever say that, okay? Now, Elaine is asking, that is a very open-ended question. Exactly. It's a very open-ended question, and it is up to Hikmat to take it in the direction that he wants to. So he said, oh, success means being motivated. Oh, okay. So what is motivation for you? I mean, if you will be successful when you are motivated, then what is going to motivate you to be successful? Never ever answer that with money, okay? Even if money is the answer, do not ever say it, all right? Because the point of an interview is to show to the interviewer why you are the best candidate. Not to be like, oh, I am here because you are offering me a lot of money. Do never ever say that, okay? So Hikmat, what motivates you to be successful?
Well, gaining a good experience from achieving a goal would be a good motivator for me.
Okay.
For example, if you assign to me a specific task, and I see that achieving this task will gain me more experience and a better position and admiration between my colleagues, I would surely see it as a good motivation to achieve it.
Okay, perfect. So yeah, that was a good strategy, Hikmat. So Hikmat answered the question, and then he gave an example. He's like, for example, reaching a goal motivates me. For example, if I'm assigned someone, okay, that's a good technique. All right, thank you, Hikmat. And I can't stress this enough. Never ever say money is the reason for you doing whatever it is that you do. Okay?
Well, your question was very very tempting to say money.
Yeah, and it is. It's going to be tempting. It's like a lot of times you will be asked, why did you apply for this position? And in your head, you will be thinking, because this position offers a lot of money. But you will never say that, okay? So don't ever mislead or don't ever lead the interviewer into thinking that you are only there for the money, okay? You have to prove to them that you can offer, that your skills are what they need, all right? And not just, oh, this person only needs to pay his car bills, which is why he's here. Okay? Don't ever give that impression. Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, Hina, I just have a question.
Yeah.
While in my job itself, can I explain to my boss that I lost my motivation somehow because I'm expecting some increment or something? Is it correct or not? After I'm hired and
expecting a raise, do you mean? Like expecting more money? Okay.
Increment, yes.
Okay, increments are like little increases. So an increment is basically a little amount. So an increments of money would be little amounts of money. So, okay, the thing is, a lot of companies, they have these policies that after 1 year of working with the company, you will get a raise. So you will get more money. That is motivation for people to continue working in that company. Okay, it's like, okay, you know what? If after 1 year, my salary is going to go up. That's awesome. All right. After 5 years, my salary is going to get better. That's motivation. All right. If companies do not offer this, people lose motivation. And then you can talk to your boss. If you feel that the work you are doing is worth more money than you are getting, then you have the right to ask for a raise. All right. But you cannot ask for a raise when you are hired. Like, you just been working at your job for 3 weeks and you're like, you know what, I want more money. You can't do that. All right. So after a year, even after a couple of years, if you feel that the work you are doing is worth more than what you are getting paid to do it, then you have the right to go up to your boss or to your manager and say, you know what, I feel like I deserve a raise. And then you have to justify to them why you deserve a raise. All right. But most companies have these policies in place where it's like when you get hired, a year after that, you'll get like a 5% raise, or like 5 years after that, you'll get a 10% raise. All right. This is what keeps people. Yeah. You have that, Andre?
In my company, we have annual feedback.
You have annual feedback. Exactly. And how often can you expect a raise at your position?
Yes.
How often do you get, like, how often does your salary go up?
In this year, my wage is increased in 12%.
Yeah, exactly. So people know, like companies know that money is a motivation. You're not going to work for free. So they already have these policies in place that allow the employee to be like, okay, you know what? I am motivated to stay at this company. I am motivated to do well. All right?
Because you need your goals and your achieves.
Yeah, your achievements.
Achievements.
Yeah, your goals and your achievements. Achievements are what you have gained. All right?
Yes.
Unfortunately, we don't have that.
Yeah.
We don't have that in my company. And they promoted me as a manager, and my salary is still the same.
Okay, that is what is called a bad deal. That is a bad deal. Okay, so I have more work, I have more responsibility, but I do not have more money. That is a bad deal. Okay, so you would be in a position to ask for a raise. So if this is your situation where you are working harder, you are working longer hours, you have more responsibility, but they did not increase your pay, I would say that after maybe 3 or 4 months at a position like this, you would be in a good enough situation to ask for a raise. Like, listen, I'm working harder and this job has gotten difficult and you guys are not paying me more. I deserve a raise. All right. And if you are really doing an amazing job, then the company will consider your offer. Like, they will think about it and they will raise your salary. Okay. That is how it should be. Okay. All right. And unfortunately, we're actually out of time. I'm sorry I didn't get to interview Judith, Karar, and Kareem and Raheem. But next time, I promise you guys, I will start my interview with the three of you. All right.
Okay.
For right now, I'm out. I hope this was fun. I hope this was not a boring activity. I hope you guys had fun being interviewed by me, answering questions on the spot. Calvin, this was Calvin's first ever interview, so I hope he enjoyed it. All right. So thanks, guys.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. That's great. So it's the weekend here. Thank you so much, everyone. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Enjoy the weekend.
Thank
It's
you
going to
too.
be nice and warm and sunny here. And I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys
We
next week.
appreciate
All
the
right?
effort.
Bye bye.
You're
Thanks.
welcome. Bye.
Bye. See you.
Oh, and check out my Facebook. I'm going to be posting the song challenge. So for all those who don't know, I post a song at the end of every week. And you're supposed to listen to it and fill in the lyrics. So for those of you who don't know, I would definitely recommend you check out my Facebook for the song challenge. It's a really fun activity. This week's song comes to us from Enrique Iglesias. So for all those who love Enrique.
Okay.
I heard all the ladies go like, ooh.
Love is in the air.
Ooh, all right. Bailamos. So this week's song is actually Hero by Enrique. That's my Facebook. If you guys check it out, I'm going to be posting the song in like the next 5 minutes. Thank you so much, guys. I'm out. See you all next week.